Hello, I am Bhakti Kothari from Indian Masterminds, and today I am taking you into the story of a man who has spent over 3 decades shaping law and order not from the spotlight but from the shadows. This is the story of B. Shivadhar Reddy, the man often called the silent strategist behind Telangana's policing power. In the world of policing, there are officers who command attention, and then there are those who command outcomes. B. Shivadhar Reddy belongs firmly to the second category. He is not the loudest voice in the room. He doesn't chase headlines. And yet, his presence has been felt in some of the most defining moments of law and order across Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, often working behind the scenes where the real decisions are made. Today, as the Director General of Police of Telangana, he carries not just rank, but the weight of a system he helped build from the ground up. Born and raised in Hyderabad with ancestral roots in a small village in Rangareddy district, his journey did not begin with ambition in uniform. It began quietly with law. He studied at Osmania University and even practiced as a lawyer for a brief period. Imagine that. Before handling intelligence networks and policing systems, he was studying arguments, evidence, and legal frameworks. That early exposure shaped how he would later see policing, not just as enforcement, but as a system. But the courtroom was only the beginning. In 1994, he cracked the civil services examination and entered the Indian Police Service. His early years were not in big cities, they were in places where policing meant far more than enforcing the law. Anakapalli, Narsipatnam, Chintapalli, these weren't easy postings. These were regions where terrain, tension, and trust all had to be managed together. No headlines, no visibility, but deep learning. As Superintendent of Police in Nalgonda, Srikakulam, Nellore, and Guntur, he moved across completely different landscapes. From coastal districts to insurgency prone regions, each posting added a new layer to his understanding. Some officers build their careers in the open, others move into spaces where visibility fades but influence grows. This is where Shivadhar Reddy made a defining shift. He stepped into intelligence. His time with the elite Greyhounds force exposed him to counterinsurgency at close quarters. He began to understand patterns, how threats emerge, evolve, and disappear. From there, he moved into the Special Intelligence branch, and here everything changed. Policing was no longer about reacting, it became about anticipating. In 2014, Telangana became a new state, and with it came a massive challenge building an intelligence system from scratch. That responsibility went to B. Shivadhar Reddy. Becoming the first intelligence chief of Telangana was not just a posting, it was an assignment without precedent. New state, new fault lines, new challenges. He worked on internal security, political intelligence, monitoring extremist movements, maintaining stability during the transition, and stayed away from the spotlight, but made sure that the spotlight never shook. In 2016, one operation stood out the crackdown on gangster Nayeem, a sprawling criminal network dismantled. This wasn't just an encounter, it was a carefully planned, high stakes operation. It showed one thing clearly he understood both sides of crime what is visible and what stays hidden. But even before that, in 2007, during the 10th aftermath of Mecca Masjid blast and policing firing, he was brought into Hyderabad's South Zone, a moment when the city needed balance, firmness, and control. And he was trusted to deliver both. But his work wasn't limited to intelligence and operations. In Vishakhapatnam, as police commissioner, he launched the Arrive Alive campaign, a simple idea to save lives on the roads. He also introduced a public complaint box system, giving citizens a way to speak without fear. These may not have made national headlines, but they revealed something important. He saw policing not just as enforcement, but as engagement. His journey also took him into the Anti Corruption Bureau, handling cases that tested the integrity of the system itself. And beyond India, he served in the United Nations mission in Kosovo, a completely different environment. Conflict zones, international policing standards, each role added depth. Field operations intelligence strategy, anti-corruption work, global exposure. Very few officers maintained relevance across changing governments. Shivadhar Reddy did. In 2023, he was brought back again as the intelligence chief by a different government. That says a lot. It wasn't just continuity, it was trust. Even after becoming DGP, he continued handling intelligence responsibility. An unusual overlap and a sign of how central he is to the system. In October 2025, he took charge as the Director General of Police of Telangana. By then, he had seen everything: district policing, intelligence, urban challenges, anti corruption. As DGP, his priorities became clear: zero tolerance for corruption within the force, stronger grassroots policing, addressing manpower shortages, encouraging Maoist surrenders instead of prolonged conflict. No dramatic announcements, just a clear, methodical approach. Over the years, he has received the Police Medal for Gallantry, UN Medal, Indian Police Medal, Intelligence Excellence Awards, and the President's Police Medal for Distinguished Service. But awards were never the focus, because much of his work still remains unseen. There's very little known about his personal life. No public stories, no family narratives, and maybe that's intentional because his entire career reflects the same idea: stay focused, stay controlled, and let the work speak. In a profession often associated with visibility and authority, B. Shivadhar Reddy represents something different. He doesn't rely on spectacle, he builds systems. He doesn't react to crises, he prepares for them. And as Telangana continues to evolve, his presence remains constant, quietly ensuring that the system never falters. So, this was the story of a man who proves that sometimes the strongest influence is the one you don't see. I am Bhakti Kothari from Indian Masterminds. If you found this story insightful, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe because we bring you stories that go beyond the obvious.